Hello, this is Daniel Blaze. My name is Daniel, and welcome to yet another really cool Minecraft video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at some of the best shaders that are actually going to add such cool water to Minecraft that you're probably going to be astonished and surprised. And there's a good chance that there's going to be a few shaders in here, at least one I think that you probably haven't heard a lot about. You've heard it right. We're going to be taking a look at some shaders that are actually going to be adding water that is going to, look so cool. You're going to see. You're just going to see. Before we get into it though, hit that thumbs up on this video if you already enjoy it, or if you're just looking forward to what we're about to check out. And then you can also hit that subscribe button, and actually you can also join our own Minecraft server, which is play.danielplays.net. And then last but not least, I also stream over on Twitch, so definitely check out the link down below in the description to Twitch. So the shaders I'm about to show you will look phenomenal, and I will give you this disclaimer: not all of them will run very well on low-end systems. That being said, I will give you some advice on how to make these shaders run better on mid-range systems, so you can actually make them playable even though at first they may seem unplayable. So here we are in Minecraft. I'm actually recording this in Minecraft 1.16.5, but they all work in 1.18. They just won't all look as good because some of these shaders, especially the one that I'm about to show you after this first one, it hasn't been updated for a while, so it will not always show the correct water physics in Minecraft 1.18.1. This should be fixed soon, hopefully. But for now, I'm actually going to use the version that works best with all of these shaders, which is Optifine for Minecraft 1.16.5. The first shader pack of this video that is going to add amazing water to Minecraft is Kappa Shaders. I've actually never featured this shader on the Daniel Plays channel, as far as I can remember at least. I may have, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. Now, this is a beautiful shader that actually comes with a lot of profiles, so you can actually tweak this shader to work better on your older and low-end systems. And there's also some settings that you may want to disable to keep this playable, but obviously for this video, we're not going to be reducing any water-related settings. So this shader pack adds some really good looking water. As you can see, it's wavy. Obviously, that's one of these things that you really want to have with a good looking shader with good water. It also has very nice reflections, but what's cool about this one is that it actually has a unique wave mode that ensures that the reflections are also going along nicely with the waves, so the reflections look way better. As you can see, the birch tree in the distance, its reflection is also kind of wavy, which looks very realistic and kind of like what you would see in real life. And then another really good feature of Kappa Shaders is the underwater caustics, which we're going to see with other shader packs as well. Actually, the next one has even prettier caustics, and caustics are these things that you see underwater, which are caused by the sun shining directly on the waves on top of the water, and this will cause light to actually bounce and bend in a certain way, which will reflect very uniquely on the bottom of this lake. So these next ones are called spectrum shaders, and these are the ones that I expected you hadn't heard about a lot, at least because these shaders are not as easy to download and not as easy to find, but they actually work well, at least if you're willing to go back to 1.16.5, because I couldn't get this shader to work properly on 1.18.1 just yet, but that shouldn't really matter for shaders, so I hope that with a future update this will be fixed and you can actually use it in any version of Minecraft. So something that definitely stands out with this pack are the caustics. As I pointed out when we were looking at the previous shader called Kappa, this spectrum shader is actually very cool when it comes to the caustics. The waves look really cool, and anything in here is, well, almost anything in here is customizable up to the point that you can actually select the quality of the caustics underwater. So that's how customizable this shader pack actually is, if you really feel like customizing your shader and making it look exactly the way you want it to look. Another really cool thing about this pack is that when you actually go underwater, you can see these God rays, these light rays, these beams just shining through the water, and they are actually directly casting the caustics that you see underwater. So it's not just some artificially calculated thing. Well, in the end it is, but it's cool that you can see these God rays being cast on the water and causing these underwater light effects. It's really nice to stand here in the shadows and you can actually see these God rays being cast on the water. It looks really nice, but you can also tell, you should probably be able to tell, that there is water fog with spectrum shaders, which is another really cool feature that I thought I needed to point out because we're actually looking at the water this time. So I want to point out all the best effects that these shaders have to offer when it comes to water. The look of this last shader shouldn't be a surprise to you. It shouldn't be totally new to you. This, of course, is the SEUS look that you're probably used to if you've ever seen videos about SEUS PDGI, SEUS PDGI HRR, which is another really good shader pack, or if you've ever used SEUS Renewed or maybe the older versions of SEUS. This next one is SEUS Renewed, and I actually wanted to put this one in here as well because it's one of the SEUS shaders, and it is the one that you're most likely going to be able to run on a mid-range system. This shader also adds really cool caustics, as you can clearly see on the sand, but also on the dirt and on the bottom of this river. You can clearly see the sunlight actually causing these really cool effects underwater, whilst the sunlight itself is also being reflected in a very pretty way, in my opinion. And with SEUS Renewed, you also get this cool effect underwater where it looks pretty realistic, in my opinion. It looks a little blurry, a little less clear than what you're able to see when you actually go out of the water, which makes total sense, but I'm just saying some shader packs don't pull this off very well, and I think SEUS Renewed is doing an awesome job at making underwater seem pretty realistic as well. As you can see in the distance, there's also some water fog. At least this is one of those that you should definitely be able to run on a mid-range system as well, because it's been around for ages. It doesn't have crazy features like SEUS PDGI, path tracing and stuff like that, so you should be able to run this shader pack on a mid-range system. Before I leave you, I actually promised you guys to give you some advice on how to make these shaders run at least a little bit better, to give you a better chance at actually being able to run these on your older or mid-range systems. They all run very well on high-end systems, but you may not all have a very high-end system. So what you want to try and do is go over to the game options, go into options, video settings, and then shaders, and select your shaders. Then click shader options in the bottom right corner. Then you'll have all of these settings where there's going to be a bunch of things that you can disable, some of which will actually ruin the effect underwater, but some actually don't. But there's an effect with spectrum and similar shaders, which is called 3D clouds, or just clouds, and clouds can be very demanding on your GPU. So click 3D clouds, or find a similar setting in other shader packs, and then disable the clouds altogether so you're only left with 2D clouds. Click done. Now this change will be applied, and if we actually look up into the sky, as you can see, this is way more basic, but if you're actually going to be running this for the water effects and the other cool effects like shadows and stuff like that, then you're probably not going to be bothered by, not having these very cool realistic clouds. If you're into clouds, then don't disable this setting. If you want the performance, then go ahead and try disabling this setting. That's been it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you actually did, you know what to do. You know what to do. Just hit that thumbs up down below. Also, whilst you're down there, just hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. Turn on all notifications so you will never miss out on any of this, great Minecraft content that you're currently watching. Also, check out my Twitch, where I do streams on Minecraft on my own Minecraft server, which is played.danielplays.net. You can join. It's a really cool server. And then without any further ado, I will, of course, as always, catch you in the next one. See ya.